Hello everyone, Tasty Waffle here. Today's review is for Orson Welles' 1952 film version of Othello. I will begin by saying that this film won the Golden Palm at the Cannes Film Festival of that same year. This is a really good film, and now we'll get down into why it is so good. So number one, let's begin with the plot. If you had asked me before I watched this film, what's the plot of Othello, of Shakespeare's great play, I wouldn't have been able to give you an answer. This film thankfully cuts it down to a very minimalist level, and we get right to the point. Iago seeks to convince Othello that Desdemona is unfaithful. Until I saw this film, I never really thought about how that is the heart of the play. So the plot here is very straightforward and gets right to the point, and for that it gets a 5 out of 5. The next thing we're going to look at are the characters. Now, with any Shakespeare film, the question must be asked by the filmmaker, how much of the original play is going to be cut out for the sake of a movie? Now, unfortunately, because so much is cut out for this hour-and-a-half long film, much of the richness of many of the other characters is lost. All that we have here is Othello, Iago, and Desdemona contributing a little bit, and all of the other side characters seem to have been kind of butchered, leaving not much in the way of characters other than Othello and Iago, which is unfortunate because Shakespeare was the master of creating a large amount of interesting characters, and I feel that much of that is missing. Iago and Othello and Desdemona are all well played. The acting is all very solid. But because so many of the characters are cut out, unfortunately I must give it a 3 out of 5. The next thing we'll look at is the script. Now, with any Shakespeare adaptation, it really comes down to how well do the actors say the lines of the bard. And I will say that here it's quite wonderful, because it's spoken in a very normal tone. I always say, you know what Shakespeare's saying if the actor delivering the lines knows what Shakespeare is saying. And I must say that they do a good job here, and it all makes sense. Some productions of Shakespeare plays can be kind of confusing because the actors don't really know what the lines mean. But thankfully here everyone does a good job. And therefore I give the script a 5 out of 5. The next thing we'll look at is the depth. In this case, the character depth. Because so many of the characters have been cut out, much of the depth and the richness of the characters is lost. And even some of the depth and richness of Othello and Iago are lost because so much has been cut out. It still gives us some interesting insight into the characters, and therefore I give the depth 3 out of 5. The next category is music. The music here is magnificent. It's incredible. It really draws you in from the moment it starts. The music is so well put together with a strange sort of Gregorian chanting. It's really quite wonderful. And it really adds a lot to the wonderfulness of this film. It adds a layer of richness. And therefore I give the music 5 out of 5. The last category is spectacle. As always, Orson Welles' signature camera work is on display here in full force. You know that it's an Orson Welles film because it just has what all of his films have: the great camera work, the interesting composition of the shots. Some of the special effects are a little bit cheap, and there aren't very many special effects. Thank goodness Orson Welles was always making films on a really, really low budget. But what he does with the camera work here is truly magnificent, and definitely you can tell it's his great style, the style that you see in films such as The Magnificent Ambersons and Citizen Kane, and therefore the spectacle gets 5 out of 5. When you total up all the points, it will receive a 26 out of 30. This is a very good adaptation of Shakespeare's great play, and it's a very good film, and I think it won the Palme d'Or justly. Orson Welles is a great master of film, and I really enjoyed this film, and I would highly recommend it. Well, that's my review. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.